Hi everyone, it's Natali.
Do you hear that? Somewhere in the darkness of the Guyanese jungle, screams blending into a chorus. And then, silence, dead silence. Here, in the thick tropics, on November 18th, 1978, took place what is still called the greatest tragedy in the history of cults. More than 900 people, men, women, and even little children, lifted a cup of poison to their lips, voluntarily or under force. This is the story of Jonestown, a settlement that was meant to be a paradise on earth, but became hell. Its founder, Jim Jones, a man who could look straight into your eyes and make you believe. He called himself a prophet, a messiah, a messenger of God. But beneath the shine of his holiness hid something else, an obsession with control and a burning hunger for power. In the 1950s, he created his own church, the People's Temple. At first, it seemed noble. Sermons about equality, help for the poor, promises of justice. But little by little, his words sounded more like incantations. I am your father. I am your truth. Without me, you are nothing. People worshipped him, gave him money, left their families just to be near him. For them, he was God in the flesh. When the US authorities began to scrutinize his activities, Jones devised a plan. He led his followers deep into the jungles of Guyana, South America. There, in the wilderness, he built a settlement named after himself, Jonestown. We will create a utopia, he declared. We will escape the corrupt world. There will be only love and unity.
Yes, we're just getting ready to leave. These are potato chips made from plantain, and they're more delicious. They're a combination of a potato chip and a French fry. And radishes, You don't know what you're missing down here? They make their own buns and hamburgers and the leafy green vegetables. By the way, we just won first prize from the national government of Guyana for our leafy green vegetables. Here are the people at the table eating an afternoon snack. You see Pepsi-Cola's here for 3 cents, American money. That sounds appetizing, doesn't it? I can't get anybody to go home with me. Can't even get Muggs. He's out over there somewhere.
And people believed him. Thousands of miles from home, under the burning sun, they worked day and night, building wooden barracks, planting rice and vegetables, singing songs. It seemed this really was a new paradise. But paradise had another scent, the scent of fear. In Jonestown, there was no freedom. Leaving the settlement, forbidden. Letters from relatives, intercepted. Radio and newspapers, censored. And Jim Jones himself, wearing black sunglasses, more and more often sat in the shadows, swallowing pills and watching the crowd sing hymns to him. He ordered night drills. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, his voice echoed through the loudspeakers. "Wake up! The enemy is coming. We must be ready to die for the cause." People were forced to practice drinking liquid from cups. They were told, "This is poison. If you love Jim Jones, drink." Then a sinister pause, and laughter. It was just a test. But one day, it was no longer a test. Letters about the terrible life in Jonestown reached relatives in the US, and the government decided to act. Congressman Leo Ryan arrived in Guyana with journalists. He wanted to see the truth. At first, he was shown happy faces, children laughing, people singing. But secretly, people approached him and whispered, "Take us with you, please." When Ryan and the journalists prepared to leave, an ambush awaited them at the airstrip. Bullets tore through the air. The congressman was killed, along with several journalists. And in Jonestown, Jim Jones gathered the crowd. He said, "They will never leave us in peace. The only way out is revolutionary suicide. A vat of poison, cyanide mixed with juice, was placed under the pavilion. The children were forced to drink first. Mothers held them in their arms as they convulsed. Then came the turn of the adults. Screams, cries, bodies collapsing to the ground. Some tried to run, but the guards with rifles blocked the way. Within hours, everything was silent. 918 bodies lay on the ground, pressed against each other. At the center, Jim Jones. He had not drunk the poison. He shot himself in the head. Silence. The jungle was quiet again. Only Jones's black sunglasses gleamed in the grass beside his body. Jonestown was meant to be a utopia. It became a mass grave. And today, when you look at the old photographs of children still smiling, or the empty barracks where songs once echoed, a chill runs down your spine. Because there is a warning in this. A warning of how easily one person can seize the will of others, and how terrifying the end can be when faith turns into fanaticism. Do you hear it? This is not just a story. It is the echo of those screams that still wander through the dark jungles of Guyana. In Kansas City, Missouri, during the 1980s, there lived a man named Robert Berdella. On the street, he appeared to be an ordinary neighbor. Friendly, polite, unremarkable. No one could have suspected that true evil was hiding behind his doors. Berdella lured young men under the pretense of work, parties, or friendly gatherings. But the moment they stepped over the threshold of his house, their lives would change forever. Inside, the house became a trap. Berdella physically and psychologically tortured his victims. He experimented with pain, deprivation of freedom, isolation, and starvation. He documented everything. Hundreds of photographs, recordings, and notes became evidence of his crimes and a chilling testament to the horrors taking place behind ordinary doors. His victims were terrified, yet often tried to comply. The fear was greater than any attempt to escape. Days turned into weeks of suffering, and anyone who entered the house risked never leaving alive. Berdella's secret lasted until 1988. One man miraculously survived. He told the police everything that had happened inside the House of Horrors.
Unfortunately, I took the wrong way. I can tell you what led up to the escape. Like I said, the first couple of days I was unconscious and I couldn't really see nothing. I didn't really know if my eyesight was coming back, what was going to happen.
When law enforcement entered, they found a grim scene. Bodies, recorded suffering, hundreds of photos, all meticulously collected by Berdella over the years. Berdella confessed to everything. His case became a symbol of how outward normality can conceal unimaginable evil. People who seem like neighbors, friends, or acquaintances can hide secrets more terrifying than any nightmare. This story is not just a criminal case. It is a reminder. Evil sometimes hides nearby, behind ordinary doors. And sometimes the worst nightmares are real, closer than we ever imagine.